Google's new Nano Banana image generator is absolutely incredible. I've been testing it non-stop and I'm gonna show you exactly how insane it really is. I guarantee these examples are gonna blow your minds. Without further ado, let's dive in. Hey, this is Ben with God of Prompt. Remember to steal the prompts I'm sharing in this video by pausing the video, taking a screenshot of the prompt, putting it in your chatbot of choice, and just telling it to extract the text. Starting off with photo restoration. With only a 3-word prompt and only taking 5 seconds to generate the new image, Nano Banana was able to take this old photograph, which has an entire chunk missing, and fill in the blanks in a really accurate way. Here's another example, restoring a faded photograph. A faded photo of a town, an old photo of a couple, a faded photo of an old lady, a family portrait, and this one is absolutely insane. See how there was almost no details of the people's faces in this one, and it really had to take some creative liberties. We got another one of some workers, 2 women and a man, and I think we can all agree to bring this hat fashion back into style. A blurry photo of a couple. Just imagine this image could have effectively been lost forever if we weren't able to restore it like this. A photo of 2 brothers that was also colorized. So I tested out the exact same prompt, just restore this photo with a few old photos, and here's the result. Nano Banana absolutely nails the restoration. Here's another example I tried, and it even kept the watermarks from the original image, which is hilarious. Here's the last example here. I tried to get a really damaged photo, and it did a tremendous job. You can also use Nano Banana to remove people from a scene. On the left is our original image of the Pittsburgh Steelers with Coach Tomlin in the middle, and we simply tell Nano Banana, remove the person in the middle. Then we asked it to remove half of the people from the photo, and here's the result. So if you've ever had someone photobomb your photos in public, worry no longer, you can use Nano Banana to clean it right up. On the left is a new original image here, and we simply said, remove the cat. And in 5 to 10 seconds, Nano Banana does just that. Then you could say, put his arms to the side. And I think AI made me gain a few pounds here, which is just so messed up. That's so messed up. On the left is our original image of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And on the right, we simply told Nano Banana, give this man a beautiful head of hair. Which is so uncanny to see. I mean, it looks like real. Here I edited the prompt slightly. I said, give the man a nice haircut and a mustache. If you appreciate me saving 1 million pictures of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on my hard drive just for this video, then please like the video and subscribe. And while you're down there, check out some of the free guides that God of Prompt offers. All you gotta do is enter your email and then you're off to the races. On the left is the original image, a dark and snowy day with a sad expression. And again, with just a quick prompt, we said, make him smile, make it sunny. This is the result. Now check out this new use case. You can add text to images with Nano Banana. So here we have a black and white image with nothing on the card, and our prompt in this case is simply add color and add "We Love God of Prompt" heart sign to the sign. Ladies and gentlemen, it's as simple as that. Now for a new use case that is near and dear to my heart, YouTube thumbnails. On the left is the most handsome photo on existence on the internet. The prompt we used was a little bit more detailed here because we wanted to include certain elements in the thumbnail, including a Nano Banana title right here. Now one thing I noticed is you can't tell Nano Banana to make it a landscape photo, for example. It's stuck in the dimensions of the original image you provide. Here we're using effectively the same prompt, but we're just filling in the blanks with different visual elements and different text for the thumbnail. And here's the third thumbnail for a totally real video about how to become a pro mountain biker, like I would have any idea. By the way, here's the X post that gave me the idea. But wait, there's more. Check out this insane use case of changing backgrounds in an image. So I came across this X post, and again, the prompt is super simple. Just change the background to this. Really cool result. Let's see if we can mimic and get the same thing. I'm sorry, did I hear that right? You want to see more bends on the screen? Don't worry, I got you. So again, here's our starting photo on the left. And on the right, we simply said, change the background to a beach sunset. Not only did it change the background, but it actually changed the lighting of my face and body, and it looks like I'm really there. The sunset is reflecting off of my hair and shirt, and I'm just like really impressed with this result here. It really looks like as if I was really there. Here we said, make me lean on a Ferrari. I think a lot of the AI models still make faces kind of weird if they're small and far away. But with that said, let's see what else we can come up with. Here I simply said, put me on a roller coaster with a surprised expression. Yeah, I don't really know if this is me anymore, but it's cool nonetheless. And my cart is actually in between the rails that the cart is supposed to be riding on, so that's just something I noticed. Might not be the most safe roller coaster in the world. Also, there's another car on it at the same time as me. So yeah, that's just like an accident waiting to happen, I guess. Here our prompt was simply change the lighting to night. So our original image was the sunset image, and on the right, it's no longer the sun. It looks like the moon shining. But I'm learning I really like these lighting change ones. Then I said change the lighting to midday during a snowstorm. And there's just something so cool about this. Look at the snow in my hair and I'm still just wearing a t-shirt. The snow is accumulating on my shoulders. Just a really cool result here in my opinion. Next I wanted to try an interior design or room renovation type of prompt. So on the left is our original image, a dilapidated, destroyed room. And our prompt was simply to turn this into a refurbished, modern, empty room. So it kept the placement of the big window here the same. You know, the size of the walls and the door. Then I wanted to add some art on the wall, so I took a picture of a banana art and we simply told Nano Banana to put this on the wall. Maybe I'll use it to find out which piece of art should go on my wall right here. Now I want to be sensitive with this next topic. This is a real photo of someone's house that was destroyed during a thunderstorm. Don't worry, like no one died in this accident. But with the simple prompt restore this house, you can see it found the color of the bricks and of course made some assumptions to fill in the blanks of what it looked like before the disaster, which is pretty insane. On the left is our image with a real banana generated with Nano Banana, but our prompt here is simply change the banana into marble material, and it's done that beautifully, even the reflection. Here we said change the banana into jade material. Rounding out the colors here, we said change the banana into sapphire material. Then we took the blue one and said change it into knitted material. So again, the possibilities are truly endless here. But now let's tackle a quick product photography use case. On the left is our original image of a delicious looking pizza. And on the right, we said make the pizza a hand-drawn illustration, making everything else look the same. Here we told the AI to make the pizza a trippy acid trip and leave everything else the same. Now let's try a really fun use case, which is adding color to black and white photos. On the left is our original image of a flower. I don't know which color it truly is, right? AI is essentially guessing, but just look at that result. Looks amazing. On the left is our original image of a cheetah here, and on the right is the colored image by Nano Banana. And again, the prompts we're using here is just color this image. Here's an image Midjourney generated from the 1940s in black and white, and we simply asked it to add color. Man, that style was cool back then. One thing that's really important in AI image generation is character consistency. So on the left, we have our character in a yellow banana tracksuit. And on the right, we said keep the character identical, but place them in a coffee shop. I guess they're really smart because they're reading two books at the same time. Here we said keep the characters look identical, but place them in an artist's cluttered studio with paint splattered easels. I'm surprised their white shoes are like spotless in here, but it did nail the character consistency and kind of imagined what the rest of the tracksuit and outfit would look like. Here our prompt is simply a rooftop garden overlooking a city at sunset. And the character consistency is great, but it is probably the most AI-ish one. So a lot of the other results we've gotten are real natural, and this one is clearly an AI generated image. Here's another fun use case. I can imagine using this one with my friends. Here is the original image, and I simply said, make this guy an old man. And this is really cool, except as soon as I start going bald, you know I'm shaving the whole head. Here I simply said, make this person a baby. And he even has his little baby sunglasses. How adorable. Now let's try one that'll stretch the limits of your imagination. We're gonna reimagine historical cities. Here's a prompt I found on X, which is show a POV picture of standing in the street in ancient Athens 500 BC based on this map. And it actually kept the number markers from the original image. Here's reimagined image. I mean, this is so cool. We can literally time travel. So here's another example. Show a POV picture of standing in the street in the year 1330. So really unique unique way to imagine the past and how people lived back then. Here's another example from the same thread. Or this one, generate a POV image of standing in New Zealand in 1642 when the Dutch explorer first encountered the natives. And you even got him, I guess, sitting on a hill here. Here's an example of the streets of Japan from the 1600s. Now I want you to pay attention to the super creative ways that people are using this. Here's another X thread. The left image is what you feed to Nano Banana and you say, what does the red arrow see? So the red arrow is pointing at the Golden Gate Bridge. Nano Banana has this kind of world knowledge that it can put you right there as if you're looking at that from the first person perspective. Here's another example. The red arrow is right here, pointing from the right to the left, looking at Tokyo Tower. It's literally on the street on a crossroads, and in the image generated, you can see we're looking at the crossroads, and across from that is Tokyo Tower. This one's kind of silly. It's just draw the ground level view of the red arrow in San Francisco, New York, and it's just mashed together two maps, San Francisco, New York. But it does imagine it as best it can. This is a two-step process, so the first prompt is draw a DEM with contour lines. That's this first image here, the digital elevation model. Then our little red arrow here pointing up. With that there, we can say draw the real world view from the red circle in the direction of the arrow. And we get this completely fictional place, but it's based on this map. And even look, it got the stream right, and if you look at the coast of the lake, it matches the coast of the lake in the real world photo. So really impressive result. I think this is a map of Mordor from Lord of the Rings, and it's saying draw what I would see in the real world if I was standing at the red circle and looking in the direction of the arrow. Here's our next example from this X account. The prompt is make a photorealistic image, daytime and isometric, building only. On the left is our original image, on the right is the isometric result. And people are saying this would be insane for game design or for websites like Zillow. Imagine if each listing automatically had this attached. Another insane Twitter thread. X. I think this prompt is worded weird, but it says render the area represented in the image of the map in the art style of the most recent SimCity game. So yeah, I could definitely use some wordsmithing there, but here's New York and here is the SimCity interpretation. Here's another X post from this dude. And this example is from map to graphic. So he says, take this location and make the landmark an isometric image building only in the style of the game theme park. So it's this kind of soccer field, and Nano Banana again has real world knowledge about the world and will fill in the blanks for you. So I decided to try this one out with the Texas Capitol here in Austin, Texas. And with only feeding Nano Banana a screenshot of Google Maps, we got the isometric image here. We said, make this location building only into an isometric image. If you're a web designer or graphic designer, listen up to this next use case. This was posted on God of Prompt's X account, and it says Nano Banana is a great web designer. So here's the original screenshot of Google AI Studio. And we're gonna tweak the design only using Nano Banana. By the way, this was tweeted on August 27th, just 2 days after Nano Banana came out. So if you guys want that up-to-date news, go ahead and follow God of Prompt. Here is the first iteration on the plain website. Here's the second with a sort of particle effect. Here's the third. Here's the fourth, back to the plain theme, but different icons. Here's the fifth, kind of a water droplet type of situation. And this one I wanted to try myself, so I took a screenshot of the God of Prompt YouTube channel and told Nano Banana make it light blue and metallic. One of the last use cases we're going to show today is product photography. On the left is our original image from Midjourney, and we simply ask Nano Banana to make it look fresh, appetizing, and hot, which it's clearly done. I mean, it looks like it's about to catch on fire with all the smoke. Then we took it to the next level and said create a deconstructed shot of the burger with each ingredient floating. And the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is that Nano Banana is in Photoshop now. So there's an unofficial plugin you can download and install in Photoshop to unlock the capabilities of Nano Banana in your workflow. And the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is that Nano Banana is now a plugin in Adobe Photoshop. So it's an unofficial plugin you can download and install into Photoshop and implement it right in your workflow. So that is all for today's video. I hope you guys learned something new. If you did, be sure to press the subscribe button. It would mean the world to me, and let's try to get our channel to 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.